Hello and welcome to another video, and this one follows on from the last one. We're going to be looking at Battlemanps again, and this time we're going to be looking at how you would add environmental effects to the map. So we need our map. This is the one we've been working on for a while now. We want to unlock our map. Now the first thing we want to do is we want to add a layer to this map, an effects layer. So we're going to come down to the buttons down at the bottom here, and we're going to click on this to add an effects layer. You'll see that this has added a layer on here, and when we click on that, it takes us into the effects menu. We've got a couple of buttons up at the top which are all grayed out. We've got a drop down with an effects type. We've got some mask tools down here. So if we look at the drop down, then this will select the amount of or the particular effect we want. And when we click on this, let's click on rain. Then a bunch more tools open up, and you can see that the map is now got a rain effects on it. We can see rain dropping down. Now each of these presets, each of these effect types will have different things in here. Here we've got the amount that we want, the intensity, speed, and the direction. And all of these can be edited or changed. So if we wanted a bit less rain, then we would just reduce the amount of rain that's coming up. If we wanted the intensity of the rain, then it's going to be heavier. We're going to get brighter dots and the screen's going to blur a bit more. If we want the rain to be really heavy and fast, then we can adjust that. And we can also change the direction of the rain using this slider here. And each of these that we can have, like if we change this to snow now, we can see that we've got similar editing options with all of these. We've got blizzards, we've got mist, clouds, and so on. So there are various effects that we can add to our maps, and it just depends on which one that you pick, and then you can then change how the effect actually works on the map. So in this particular map, the most obvious one that we want is we want to create an effect for the water here, or for the river that's flowing through across the map. So if we go back to our drop down, we've got two options here that are suitable. We've got water, and we've also got ocean. So it's whichever one you think suits your map better. You just choose that. In this case, I'm going to choose water. Now, of course, we don't want the water over the whole map, which is what's happening at the moment. The whole map is now underwater, as it were. So we need to restrict our effect to just the area that we want to actually have the effect show. So we do this. This is where the mask comes into play here. So simply we're going to just enable the mask in this case, and you can see that when we enable the mask, the whole effect stops. And this is because, just like the ambient lighting mask, we've got an invisible mask which is masking out the water layer that we just painted onto the map. And just like the ambient lighting tool, what we want to do is we want to cut holes in this mask to show where we actually want the effect to be. So we've got these two buttons up here. We've got reveal area and hide area. So we want to make sure that reveal area is selected. And then we want to hold down the Alt key, and we just want to draw a hole in the mask where we want. So we're just going to take the mouse, holding down the left mouse button and the Alt key, and we just want to draw an area where we want this hole in this mask to appear. And when we release the button, then this hole in the mask then shows through, and we can see our water layer, and we can see that the river is now flowing. You can at this point then change the intensity, speed, the movement, whatever, of the mask to make it even more visible. Obviously this is a bit silly, but never mind. It's just for demonstration purposes. And we can also blur the edges. So instead of having a sharp edge here, a clearly defined edge as to where it all begins, we can blur that out. So it blurs things a little bit into the land around the river. Now, this is still too much, obviously, so we're going to reduce some of these things until we kind of get to something that's a bit more reasonable. Probably change the droplet size in this case. And that's probably a bit better. So we now have our river. We've got definite movement on the river, it's quite obvious. We can now carry on and do more of it. So we just need to, again, just add bits to it as long as we've got the add button up here, or the reveal area, and we can carry on and just add more to it as we need. Obviously we don't want it over the bridge or the trees or whatever, so we can just draw around and add bits to our mask. And we now have a river which is flowing all the way from the edge of the map up to the bridge here, and you can carry on and do the rest of the river as well. Now we're not restricted to just one mask layer, so let's, for example, go up into this corner here, and let's say this woods at the top of this map was kind of a haunted, horrible kind of place. So we maybe want to add some effects onto this. So we're going to add another effects layer. By clicking on the button down here, I'm going to select the layer that we just created, and we're going to go to the drop down, and let's go to the adjust colors layer here. And once again, the whole map has now been applied. The mask has the effects layer has been applied to the whole map. We don't want that. We just want it to apply to a certain area of the map. So again, we're going to add a mask to this, which removes the whole thing from the whole map. And then we're going to knock another hole in this map here by revealing this area. So we'll just take a square this time. We're just going to hold down the left mouse button and drag, and the whole thing at the top of the map then changes color. Now, obviously we can now change the color, so if we wanted to make this a bit eerier, maybe we change or we increase the red, maybe we decrease the green, we increase the blue, whatever way you want, and we can also adjust the brightness, so we can make it very dark or very light, whatever you want. And again, we can adjust the blur here so that you can see, and in fact that this one you can see a bit more clearly how the blur between where the mask starts and ends is done. So once we've happy with that, we can then add another mask or another layer to this particular area. So we're just going to do the same again. We're going to add another effects layer. We're going to select the layer we just added, and this time we're going to select the mist. Again, this applies to the whole map. We're going to add in our mask. We're going to make sure that we've got the reveal area selected, and then we're just going to draw over the same area as our color. And we now have mist or a red mist coming along in this particular area. We want to reduce the speed. Now in this particular slider, 50 is pretty much static. There's no real movement here, and if we go below 50, then the mist is going in from left to right here. If we go above 50, then the mist is going from right to left. So we want to, maybe we'll just go a little bit, and we'll just have a kind of slow amount of mist going from right to left in this case. We can also adjust the amount, so we can reduce the amount of mist that's apparent. We can also blur this again as well, and that will just sort of merge things in nicely with the other elements that we've got on the map. So that's how you would produce maybe more than one element in the map. I mean, for example, if this were lava, for example, then we could maybe change the color of the river to a reddish orange, and we could also add in some mist into that to show steam coming off the lava. And you know, there are various other effects that we could add in there to layer things up. The important point is you're not restricted to just having one layer of effects on any one area of the map. Now we can also use the mask to reverse this process, in other words, to hide areas from the effects. So let's add another effects layer, and this time let's add in, let's say, a blizzard. Let's again, the speed here, the size, the speed goes from, again, changes the direction essentially. Let's go to the size and let's just tone down the amount a little bit. I've got the size a little bit and let's just tone it down a little bit just so that we can see it. So obviously the snow or the blizzard here is covering the entire map, which isn't right because we've got buildings here. So what we're going to do is we're going to enable our mask. We're going to ensure that reveal area is on, and then we're just going to reveal the whole map here. Which brings us kind of back to where we started, oddly enough. But now we have this tool here which we can use to hide an area. And if we then come into this building here and draw around the building, then that's hiding the mask or hiding the blizzard from inside this building. So the blizzard is no longer visible inside the building. We can do the same with this one here. And you can see when we do this that the blizzard is now no longer inside the building. We can see clearly here that the blizzard starts and ends where we've drawn our mask. So that's how you can add effects. That's how you can limit effects to a particular area of the map, and how you can adjust the level of the effects that you apply, and how you can have more than one effect pertinent to a particular area. Okay, that's effects in a nutshell. I hope you found that useful. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Cheers for now.